What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be anticipating for the future. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and talk about where I see the share price of Tesla going into tomorrow and the future. I'm also going to talk about the latest pieces of news coming out affecting Tesla, as many analysts are giving it a $4 trillion valuation very, very soon. That makes me very excited. I'm also going to talk about what Elon Musk put on his Twitter page that makes me even more excited for the future of this company before I end this video and talk about what you should be anticipating going forward. Now, before I do any technical analysis, before I talk about the Fed and anything like that, I do have to mention some very important things first. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please do not take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. And not only benefits me, benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below in the description. If you do sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're not only going to qualify for up to 5 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500, but you're also going to get a free NEO share. So if you want a free NEO share, guys, check out the offer down below. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, we had a pretty good day today. We're up 2.46%, and we did end up getting that reversal I was talking about yesterday. So I estimated in my previous video that the reversal would come between $800 and $794. The reversal ended up coming at 782, so I was off by about like $12, but I was pretty close. I did anticipate it coming like around that time, and I know that a lot of people were waiting for that moment, and it finally came. So I want to talk about how this ended up playing out. So I told you guys in a previous video we had resistance around the $850 range, and then that is exactly where our resistance ended up stopping us from running yesterday. So what do I expect going into tomorrow, right? And in order for me to talk about that, we have to actually look at the overall context of what's actually going on. So the Nasdaq did have a red day, down 0.28%, and I do anticipate that it is a little bit oversold. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing started running a little bit to the upside, at least just for tomorrow, because I do see this double bottom that kind of formed right here. But it's a little bit hard to really make that call because this week is very different. This is a very different week because I believe it's on Thursday. We have CPI data coming out, guys. And the CPI data is going to definitely affect how the market responds. I don't know how hot inflation is going to be, or CPI is just one of the many measures of it. You can also use PCE data, but typically CPI is used, right? And for CPI, if it's really hot, if it's really high, the market's going to take a hit. If not, it's going to be pretty good, right? If it meets expectations, we're going to be fine. Otherwise, we could see a bit of a hit on Thursday, depending on how this comes out. Now, tomorrow is not Thursday, it's Wednesday. I do want to talk about one other very important date, and that is the fact that between the 15th and 16th of March, we have a very important FOMC meeting. And this is the time when I believe rates are going to be risen. We're less than a week away, about a week away, guys. We're there. And when rates go up, I want you guys to be prepared for something. If it's a 25 basis point hike, which it most likely will be, if it is that high, that's not even that high, that's actually kind of low. If it is at that rate, we're going to see the SPY, the NASDAQ, Tesla, they're going to run to the upside because we aren't prepared for a 25 basis point hike. It's actually relatively low compared to what many people anticipated. So that's going to be a good thing for the market. I do expect the market to run up if that ends up happening, and that most likely will be the case. So looking at Tesla, let me actually move to the Tesla chart. We were up 2.46%. We're looking pretty good, but the market's not in a perfect position just yet. The fear and greed index is currently extremely fearful, but I don't think we're as fearful now as we were yesterday. I don't think it really reflects that just yet. I do have to note that, look, President Joe Biden, he just made the announcement that the US is not going to be accepting Russian oil imports. So to me, guys, that's a little bit, how should I say? It's a little bit not necessarily concerning, but it makes me very interested in what he's going to do as a response to that, right? Because you can't just cut off such a major supplier of oil and then expect everything to just be normal, unless I don't know. I don't really know how he's thinking, right? But you can't necessarily do that. There's a high demand for oil. We also need a high supply. So that's an indication that there's a possibility, and this hasn't been announced yet as of right now, but the US could start to go a little bit more independent when it comes to oil production. And I do think that that is something we need to do. If they do end up doing that, that's going to be good for the stock market and our economy, at least for the short term. And that could be a pretty good sign because of the fact that right now we may see the price of oil start to go up even at a much more drastic rate. There are analysts out there that are exaggerating. They're saying it's going to go to $300 per barrel. I don't see that, guys. I see it under 200 at the highest because I believe Russia is importing like 11% of the world's oil. It's not extremely high. So it's not going to have insanely devastating effect. It will have an effect, but it's not going to be as devastating as some economists out there are trying to make it seem like. It's kind of like a FUD spread that they're essentially doing. So just don't be too worried about that. So I want to see the US become energy independent, or at least closer to that, especially during these times. I would like to see that because we can't depend on certain countries. At least we're not going to do that. So the result needs to change because of that. So if that does end up being announced, which I think it most likely will in the next maybe month or two, because we do need a lot more oil. We're not keeping up with demand. The price is going too high. So if that happens, it's going to be good for our stock market if that is announced. So for Tesla, what do I see going into tomorrow? Now, I see we found that bottom at 700. We started this upward trend. If I use a more sensitive setup, you guys could see we kind of started trading in this channel. We had that big run up. We have resistance at 850 that's not necessarily holding up too well. So 850 kind of like got rejected and we are starting to drop. So where's our next key level of support? Well, the thing is, we're starting this new channel and we ended up descending pretty low compared to the 850. So I would anticipate us running a little bit more into tomorrow because I think we have a lot of momentum right now. We are starting to respect this upper trend line because we found a bottom at 782. Typically, when that happens, I can show you guys another example. Like right here, we had that bottom at 700, right? We started ascending after that. We found support and we kept on running. So, what I see coming into tomorrow, I see a green day tomorrow. I don't know about Thursday or Friday. That depends on CPI data. It depends on other factors. But for tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if we're green. Because if you look at other indicators, let me actually bring up some Bollingers. You can see we had some significantly bullish price action. I mean, we went above the exponential moving averages. We saw this flip from, what is this? The 1348 EMA. So going into tomorrow, we're going to descend a little bit. I would anticipate that. Then we'll slowly start to run up. Then we might have a dramatic move to the upside. We may even get rejected at 850 again. And then we may drop slowly. And we may end up closing just a little bit above where we closed today at around 830 to 835. That's what I would be anticipating. I'm also seeing, I'm going to actually look at the MACD real quick just to get a better understanding. Yeah, so we're starting to see this thing bounce back and forth. RSI picked up a little bit. That's a pretty good sign. It's looking a little bit better. So yeah, the chart's looking a lot better right now compared to before. It does look like it wants to run up. I want to see this MACD flip. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. Yeah. RSI is picking up. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. So I anticipate tomorrow, like I said, we're going to get rejected at 850 most likely. We're going to drop a little bit, but then we're going to close in the green at around 830 to 835. That's what I think is going to play out. Now, that's just the short term, right? $800 a share is short term. For the long term, I see Tesla going into the multi-trillions in terms of market cap. Trillions and trillions of dollars are going to be pumped into this company going into the future. It's not just me that's saying that. Many analysts, according to the street, are saying Tesla may be worth $4 trillion very soon. That's going to be massive, absolutely huge. And the reason people are saying this is because they're actually looking at the different sectors and they did an analysis based off the projected earnings that are probably going to be coming out. And I think they have the name right here. They're talking about the fact that Gary Black, for instance, is now saying that Tesla will go to 4 trillion by 2030. I definitely disagree. I think we're going to break 4 trillion much sooner than that, guys. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but that still is insanely good growth. That's very, very healthy. I also think that them entering the AI sector is going to be massive as well. It's something that they didn't really talk about in this, but like I said, guys, it's going to be much bigger than some people anticipate, as they are getting better on paper when it comes to their numbers, their revenue, their earnings per share. They're going to kill it in every way possible. And this is just the beginning. We're just getting started. They have new gigafactories coming out. I mean, I'm super pumped for the next upcoming weeks. For the short term, yeah, we have CPI data, we have the FOMC meeting, but after that, once those are out of the way, I do see a rally coming relatively soon, especially after the Ukraine situation starts to clear up. I do think we're getting closer to that moment. Now, looking at this, Elon Musk retweeted this. This is someone, they're posting the job, the job listings for the Tesla Gigafactory in Berlin. So I'm trying to let you guys know that this is going to be massive, good diplomacy. They're entering Europe, and Elon Musk is retweeting this to remind each and every one of you that we have support there. We're all in this together, and we're getting better fundamentally. So that's what I have for this one. Tesla's looking pretty good right now. I do want to see a bounce tomorrow. I do think we're most likely going to see it. Remember, guys, Thursday we have CPI data. Next week we have the FOMC meeting. These things are going to affect the market, so be prepared for those. And I do anticipate some good moves in the near term future. That's what I have for this one. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening. Have a fantastic rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.